Hey y'all, hey. So I'm reporting from the vehicle live from Valley Center actually in front of the Aldi. I just finished doing some shopping and I had a thought that came to mind that I wanted to share. And I felt, one, that I need to stop feeling like I need to be perfect to share my voice. But two, just use this space as a documentation of all of the ways that I am being, but also as I'm engaging with the world and creating with people, creating in my projects, all of the stories and experiences that I'm having, because I feel that there's some value to that. And my brain always does this thing of distilling it into a beautiful lesson or a capture. And I don't feel like it's beneficial for me to keep it to myself. I share it with those in my household that I get to engage with on a day to day as we check in, like, hey, how's your day going? I'm thankful that I have those folks around me to be able to tap into and share some of the things that I'm growing through. But some of the things also are still a little bit, they still are something that I'm reserving for myself because I haven't been able to understand it. But a lot of the themes that I've been experiencing have been something that I've found is a commonality amongst folks in my age group, some that are younger. And I think there's some value. I know there's some value in sharing themes I've been growing through in this moment. So I just want to share one. I am wearing my Diane von Furstenberg Target piece when Target was a little bit of a bay. But Target's not bay anymore, but I did not get rid of the collection pieces. I even have a Sergio Hudson houndstooth coat. I am not parting ways, okay? So I'm wearing my DVF workout piece. It's a one-piece black situation, athleisure wear. It's got a little bit of an animal print, like kind of a zebra print, but it's black on like a charcoal gray. I am wearing my Steve Madden black and white cheetah sneakers. And my husband got me these cool socks. They're red with white stripes and a yellow tiger on them. And around the top of the socks have green and red stripe as well. I love these. And then I'm wearing my Coach crossbody bag with an animal print. The strap of the bag has red, orange, and black on it. And my green plaid vintage hat with some little orange paint on the front and a green plaid button up. I like these days when I can just throw on a cute little athleisure moment. And the colors, when I look at it, make me so excited. So it's a deep black base. My DVF is covering the full part of my body, but the pops of red and green and black and white just really make it fun for me. The one thing that I have really been experiencing lately, just a lesson that has been on constant repeat, is the importance of using my voice, not overthinking, sharing. I'm speaking to my voice memo. I'm going to go ahead and go home and edit it up and add it to an application and software, but not overthinking the process of capturing my voice and also making sure that my voice is heard. Speaking, saying the thing, even sometimes getting it out there and figuring out on the back end how to maybe clean it up, but never silencing myself. The silencing piece is not cool. Definitely not cool. But I noticed it's also a trend that I've seen. I had the pleasure of working with one of my amazing pageant sisters from Miss Black and Gold. She wanted me to help her pull together some looks for her 40th birthday. So this has been somewhat of a segment of life for her, meaning it's just life is lifing, okay? And one thing about getting dressed and putting that shit on is the world can be crumbling and falling apart, but when you have it together, when you just feel like you put that outfit on, maybe it's that color that you're wearing, just even for a moment, you can feel an energy of just empowered. It's that thing that keeps you going. So I'm thankful that amidst her season of growth, of change, of all of the things, she tapped me in to help her to pull together some looks for her 40th birthday photo shoot. And while we were talking, she said she was proud of me. It took me a moment. I'm still trying to get used to receiving compliments and receiving positivity. Quite frankly, it's not something that I was accustomed to as a child. I was more exposed to the criticisms and you're not doing this right. So that created this voice in my head that creativity helps me to move past. So as she was expressing herself to me and saying how she looked at me as I was creating and when I just started my entrepreneurial career, because that's now the space that she's in. It's just kind of starting and getting into this arena of putting herself out there. She was like, you were the person that I was looking to, like, oh, wow. Like, okay, my sister is doing this. And I said, well, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that so much because as I expressed to her, and I'm going to share with y'all, it is a one day at a time, one segment at a time, one foot in front of the other process. I don't necessarily know all of the, all of the points on the map, but I do have a general idea as to how I want to feel. That is somewhat of a compass, and the integrity and the legacy that I want to leave on this earth. And so I was thankful to her, but I also had to share and express with her, like, my creativity comes from a place of necessity. I had to create because art was the only place that I felt like I could be myself. The world just felt like it was a bit too rigid, too many boxes. And quite frankly, I didn't have the capacity to fit perfectly into one. But the big thing, and the theme that I mentioned to you earlier, is using my voice has looked so many different ways. It's not just my artistry that I put out into the world, the beads and the styling and the wardrobe conversations, but it's also putting my foot down and knowing that I can use my voice and that by speaking, I'm not being disrespectful if I'm being clear and concise and matter of fact. And there have been points where I had to, I found myself feeling this internal sensation that wasn't good. Specifically when it came to talking to folks who are older than me, elders in my community. That's just some shit that you don't do. You don't talk back to the elders. But then as I've grown and evolved, I realized like the elders don't have it all figured out. Also, the elders have a sense of this ego that pervades conversation and just spaces and places. And it's not good at all because it's hard to get to a place of common ground when someone is trying to stand on some business that quite frankly doesn't fucking make sense. Seriously. And upholding traditions and practices that are really not loving and that feel disconnected, that feel cold. So me finding my voice and challenging even the culture that I was raised in terms of challenging those that are older than you because they're supposed to know it all or have it figured out. And they don't say that they have it figured out or that they know it all, but it's just more of an implication. It's more of a, you just don't do that. I'm realizing, no, with love, there is a space for me to use my voice and for me to share with you how I'm feeling, for me to provide you with some context to my experience. And there is an opportunity for us to respectfully disagree. There is not an opportunity for us to disrespect each other. All right, so now it's time for a story because I have to give more background to help you to understand what this looks like in practice, okay? So I'm having a conversation with my dad. I love him to pieces, always, always, always respect and regard my parents. I know I am because of them. And my experience growing up with them and watching them as my parents has helped me to just live vicariously through their experiences and just rework some things. I'm very analytical in that way. So this one time, my father and I are talking, we're having a conversation, and he says to me, I don't like the way that you talk to me. And I asked him, I said, well, what is it, or how do you rewind? I was sharing with him some details about an event. Let me go ahead and start there. And when I share details about an event, I try to be very specific, clear, and concise because things can get very misconstrued super easily, especially when you're talking about communication styles and age differences. I like to speak slowly. I like to have a reference point like a text thread with said information within so that it's not just me speaking to you. It's also now you being able to check yourself. So we were coordinating some things for my daughter's swim meet. And in the midst of that conversation, he says, you just always sound so annoyed. I don't like the way that you talk to me. Now, I wanted to take inventory because I'm a reflective person, because let me be clear. It's sometimes it's a lot to talk to the parentals, okay? Like their tone and me receiving it, but them saying that no, nothing's wrong, specifically my dad. That's just the way that he talks. I'm learning it, I'm processing it. And so I wanted to make sure, like, damn, am I mirroring his tone right now? Am I giving him what he's giving me? So I asked the question, well, what is it that I'm saying? Well, it's not, you're just talking to me. It's very declarative. It's very declarative. That's what he said. It's very declarative how you talk to me. And I said, so you mean I speak to you with a matter-of-fact tone, very clear and concise? I said that my tone is not raised. I'm not using any disrespectful words. He said, well, you just make me feel stupid. And to that, I had to pause. I had to take a moment. And I had to think, of course, that's never my intention. Again, my focus is on trying to deliver the information so that it is clearly communicated. I am a person who, at the point of attack, if there's a show or an event or a production or something, I like to prepare my people prior to, because the day of, I intend to be fully focused on that thing, that especially as it pertains to my family and my daughter, I'm not playing. I may not be able to answer the phone because I'm in the trenches, but trust me, I have equipped you with all of the information prior to the situation. So I asked him, I said, well, I say to him, I'm speaking in a way that I would hope that you understand clearly and concisely. But I want to understand this, Dad. How would you prefer that I talk to you? What is the tone that you would prefer for me to use with you? Oh, you should know. And again, to that, I had to back up and take a moment, because for him to demand or say to me that I am offending him in how I talk, but not be able to provide a point of reference for how he would prefer to be spoken to, that's unfertile soil. Like, I can't do anything with that, sir. We cannot grow any plants, veggies, or anything on this soil, because you don't even know where you want to go. You don't. You haven't done the work. So in using my voice, expressing to him with love that unfortunately I am unable to help or do anything beyond just be who I am. And respectfully telling him that I think he feels a little sensitive because I am a very clear and direct person. And I don't know why people take so much offense to that. I love it. You don't have to be mean. There's a way to be kind and direct and communicative. And it just seems like folks are so uncomfortable with standing in the space of discomfort to realize, oh, wait, it's really not this other person doing this thing. It's me feeling away. So let me sit with that so that I'm not taking away my power. It's so much easier to blame. But for me, I think it's easier to acknowledge that's not their stuff, because then that means, oh, great, I have so much more power than I originally thought. And for me, once I'm clear of my power center, my point, I can create anything I want to from there. And one thing is for certain, I know how I am evolving and growing because I felt the discomfort. And I know when discomfort is present, that's when growth is happening. I felt a little uncomfortable, but I also realized that this is me exercising my voice. Even amongst the people that I feel should know me the best, I realized, like, no, they really don't know me as much as I would hope, because they don't know themselves. And that's no dig at them. That's just clarity for me, and a sense of security and confidence to know that, no, you're not tripping. I'm not crazy. This is me talking to me right now. I'm not tripping. I'm not crazy at all. This is the state of the things. Emotions are high. Folks are feeling stuff and have not had the bandwidth to be able to parse through it. So me expressing this to my homegirl the other day was important, because she said too that she has been experiencing some things in her own familial dynamic in terms of using her voice and feeling silenced. And at that point, I was like, this is why I'm supposed to talk more. This is why I'm supposed to run my mouth, because there's value in me sharing this. And even if it's from an angle of jest, it's hilarious, this thing of growing and evolving. I mean, the shit is wild and weird too, okay? Just like the things we're seeing in the world. But now more than ever, it's just important for us to tune in and listen to those voices and those feelings. We cannot ignore it. And we absolutely have to feel comfortable and develop a comfort in using our voices. I just need y'all to know how excited I am that I have been able to do this podcast episode in a matter of an hour. I'm going to go continue flowing with the theme of start now and perfect later. I just told my little sister, perfectionism will cripple you. It will keep you from doing the thing if you nitpick it to pieces because it's not perfect. It's beautiful the way that it is. And also, if you enjoy this conversation, but also like the idea of style therapy, check out my page, New Vintage by Sam on Instagram. I create unique healing hardware pieces, all handcrafted by myself with intention, but with a bigger vision of helping you to tap into more inner peace and more good stuff that you deserve. I really believe that what we focus on is what we bring into our experience. So my hope is that when you're wearing the adornments that I create, you're focusing on the healing properties, on the goodness, on the high vibes. So visit www.newvintagebysam.com to see the collection, or come over to New Vintage by Sam on Instagram just to get a feel for the vibes. Take care of you always. Peace.